Hi all, and welcome to another battle report. This is 2005 point between my Kingdom Equitaine versus the Beast Herds, and we're playing on a 2x2 table because we are 4 dudes in the basement, and we didn't have more tables, so it's kind of tight, but it worked out pretty good, I think. Anyway, so let's go through my list. I have from the right 20 archers with 2 damsels, Lore of Light, in it. One of them have the scroll, and the other one have our item that gives us D3 plus 2 add on the spell. Then I have 5 aspiring knights. Then I have 6 skirmisher quest knights, which is very cool new unit that we got in the new update. Then I got a treb. 6 peg knights with razor standard, full command, and actually in formation. I want to try that out. Monster care with flying, it's pretty good, even though they are pretty squishy. But 2 of armor and a blessing could work out pretty good. Devastating charge as well. Then I have a single Castellan. I actually forgot that model when I deployed, so it just stands where I left it, unfortunately. But it doesn't really matter too much. It's pretty fast. Another one next to the peg. Then I have my realm lance with my BSB with 1 up reroll armor save and a Brett Lord with 4 up ward and 1 up armor. Then I have 3 Grail Knights as a chef unit, 10 crossbow, which was pretty much the unit I felt I have to push away because of the tight space. They are pretty bad position. Then I have 6 more questing knight skirmish on the other flank, and in my left corner I have another treb. Over to the beast herd. Unfortunately a pretty bright picture, but we will just walk through what he got. He got a razor tusk to the right behind the awesome looking tower. He have a Cygor, no Gorgon, and you can also see in that corner he have 10 ambushing centaurs with a character in it who is the BSB. Then you have a unit of wild horns in a horde formation. Behind them you have a unit of longhorns with a beast lord and a shaman of shadow in it. They have the movement standard, so they can move pretty fast. Then you have a unit of Mongol herds, I think they are called, 3 chariot and another razor tusk. Well, here is a much better picture of his army. You can see he pushes up a bit, not too aggressive except for his razor guard herds, but yeah, that's it. Well, he get off the impasse, not the impasse, dangerous terrain spell in front of my aspiring knights. I actually let this one go because I thought we were pretty low magic phase 4 to 2 or something like that. I let it go because I didn't want to waste scrolls on that, and I have a Castellan, you can see in the right corner there, so I will just go up and chaff his razor tusk instead. We actually saw Kingdom of Equitaine's first turn. We looked it up because I was unsure, because my next plan would actually, I thought about it, was charge it with the questing knights. I would get a flank charge and then overrun off the board after killing it. So we looked up the rule for that impasse terrain. It's actually not impasse but dangerous terrain, so I can actually charge it through with my aspiring knights, and I choose to do it because they are, if I'm not mistaken, ITP when they charge. So they charge the razor gore, and my plan there is basically just kill the razor gore and overrun off the board. If that failed, I have my Castellan standing right behind them to stop them from charging into my mage bunker. Otherwise, the other razor gore I charged with the peg knights, kind of a mistake in hindsight, but My thinking here was his chariot will go into them. I will probably kill the chariot, survive the impact hits. I throw one Castellan away in front of the Mongol herds because I don't want him getting too much combat rest when he charges into the Peg Knights. Otherwise, I just pushes up a bit with the rest of my army. This is showing my other flank a little bit better because my plan is Peg Knight to hold. I have my BSB close up, and I will countercharge his chariots with the Questing Knight. I push it up a bit on the flank. I think Shooting Phase didn't do much magic. I did get off the Path of Light spell that give my errant +2 combat res, and I reformed them into lance formation to give them impact hits. And yeah, which is a kind of neat trick to do if you have a Path of Light, to if you only have 5 models, reform them into lance formation to give them ranks, and that's pretty good. So the next thing, he was kind of angled a bit, so I just overrun out of the board with the aspiring knights. And here of course I kill the Razor Tusk with no problem or casualties at all. For the Beast Herds turn 2, you can see here he just pushes up his army aggressively into my face, and the Centaur pop up with ambush behind my lines. On the other flank, the 3 chariots slams into the Peg Knight, and now I'm still pretty confident about this fight. The Mongol herd charges the Castellan. He will probably die because they are lethal blow and a ton of attacks, so I'm fine with that. Well, magic, I pretty much stop his big toughness reducing spell on this Peg Knights. I don't think anything of value goes through. To be honest, but you can see here his chariot slams into my Peg Knight, impacted, roll I think 15, strength 5 hits, and now I'm starting to realize this was a bad idea. And you can see here I've taken 7 wounds on my Peg Knights, and his chariot have suffered like 2 or something like that. Not too bad. I lost by 5. I needed a 4 to stick. My BSB was fortunately within range. I roll. First I failed, and then I passed my leadership 4. So that's really saves my ass in this combat. Well, you can see here his Mongol herd actually killed my Castellan, and you can see in the top bottom right corner that his Gorgon is placed in front of me because he got off a spell. I think it was reducing strength on my Questing Knight in front of him. He only reduced him but 1, so it didn't really matter too much. And his plan here was, he told me that his Gorgon will probably kill those Questing Knights, but the Questing Knight is brutal and he didn't get off the strength debuff more than only -1 strength, so I can do some seriously damage to that Gorgon anyway. But that was actually Beast Herd's turn 2. Well, for the Kingdom of Equitain's second turn, my ambush arrived, and he is placed in front of the Centaur. The Castellan is placed behind him if everything else will fail. I pop my mages out of that archer bunker, and I know his BSB could potentially charge my level 2, but I can sacrifice that much of a point to get his BSB to get out of that unit so I can snipe it, because is my other wizard who have the I don't remember who, but I figured that I don't care if he takes out my mage. Anyway, the Questing Knight charges his Gorgon in the flank, and I'm pretty happy about that because I think Questing Knights on monster are brutal because they do multiple wounds too. You can see the Trev is lying down, and that's because it misfire last turn. On the other flank, Questing Knights slams into the side of those 3 chariots, and I hopefully will make short work of that unit. Otherwise I stay pretty back with my knight. The river is dangerous, and I don't want to face his beast herd, to be honest. So that's it for my movement. And in combat I did break the chariot. I choose to not pursue because I realized the chariot will be in perfect position of being in the way of that Mongol herd, and I pretty much keep his Longhorn out of combat because he cannot get through that gap, and the Questing Knight go in, does 4 wounds to that Gorgon. He killed 2 knights. I win, but he is stubborn, so those 5 knights are actually keeping his wild horns and his longhorns out of combat. So yeah, this kind of problem with having this small board, you can easily get yourself trapped. We will probably try less point next time, but that's the Britannian Kingdom Equitaine's second turn. I did get off some spells as well. I think I'll kill like 3 Centaurs as well with some spell banishment maybe, but that's actually it. Yeah, so over to the Beast Herds, turn 3. Well, he was pretty much locked in with his units. His chariot rally, so it's staying pretty much in front of the Mongol herd, so he could not really do much. You can see his best herd had pushed up a bit behind his best herd Longhorn had pushed up a bit behind his Wildhorn, and here you can see his Centaur hero charge out and yeah, kill my damsel. The Centaur pushes up and move out of sight of my Green Knight. This turn I actually choose halberds with my Questing Knight, so they were striking first with strength 5, which is brutal, and they kill the Gorgon, and I reform. I will probably charge the chariot in the back next turn. If he chooses to flee, I will flank charge the Mongol herd and probably lock them up to stop his best Digors from actually getting anywhere. Yeah, so that's the plan for the Quest Knight. So for the Kingdom of Equitaine, turn number 3, I think. Basically what I do here is my 2 remaining Questing Knights. So they did actually failed 2 danger terrain tests when running over that fence in the middle. Hit the rear of his chariot, otherwise he would have fled. I would just redirected into that Angor Raider flank unit and stop his unit. My Aspiring Knights came on the board again, and they're facing the back of his unit. I will not charge them because it's dangerous. My Paladin and Castellan moves behind his Centaurs, potentially charging them. Archer move forward to block the Centaur from really maneuver away, and I throw 1 Castellan forward to stop the Gore from really doing much. So basically I'm just trying to stall his Gore and War Gore and Longhorn units. And this is after combat. My Questing Knight still blocking his Mongol herds. You can see a trap have actually hit them, so they are pretty weakened in numbers. The chariot got away 1 inch and placed straight in front of my other quest unit, but that's okay if everything is locked up. I'm still leading in points at this point during the game. Well, for the Beast Herd's turn, let's see, it's his 4, because he started his Warhorn charges the Castellan together with his BSB. The Centaurs charge the back of my archers, and his longhorns were pretty much blocked up. Pushes up a bit. Well, actually this combat showed that he won all the combat. Centaurs kill my archer and run them down. The BSB and the Gore, the Centaur BSB kills my Castellan, and the Angor Mongol hordes kill my lonely quest knight, but the other guy just the chariot run through my quest knights and die from dangerous terrain test, and the Mongol horde will actually overrun into the front of my other questing knights. Here is the picture of the Mongol horde running into the front of my questing knights. So let's move over to the Kingdom of Equitaine, turn number 4. My knights just back away from his block. I don't want to fight them at all. So I just back away. My paladin, green knight, charges the back of his centaurs, who are now in a 4x4 formation. Not sure how that happened, but they are anyway. And that's it for this flank. Well, and here you can see my Lance Grail Knight bravely moving backwards. That tree is the dangerous terrain he threw up from the Path of Shadow, by the way. And you can also see my Peg Knight unit flank charging his Mongol horde. And my Paladin did not manage to run down his Centaurs, but he overran into the BSB instead. And here you can see a lot of Mongol hordes dying, but he is still steadfast, and actually I think he sticks this round. So to the beasts, turn 5. You can see there his Centaurs actually keep on running, and his Mongol horde actually broke this turn. Otherwise his Beast Gore, Longhorn and Wildhorns pushes closer towards my knights. Well, for my turn, unfortunately I didn't get a picture of how everything started, but basically I pushes the crossbow forward, back the Realm Knights backwards, pushes the Grey Knights forward, so he will hit them first, then he will overrun into my level 2 Damsel, and so he will not be able to get my expensive realm, as he will get 100 for the Grey Knights and 120 for the Damsel, but that's, I think, is as good as I can get. Well, what he did instead, he charges his general auto units into the Damsel, and he will basically kill that. For the Kingdom of Equitaine, final turn, I slam into the BSP with my Errant Lance, and we will not kill it, but we will run him down. And well guys, that's it for the game. It was a very interesting and funny game to play. Nice opponent. I think this was where it all turned, that the fact that my Peg Knight actually hold against his chariot on a leadership 4 rollable. That was kind of lucky on my part, but otherwise I think I played pretty good. I think I did it wrong. I'm not sure now, that I played the Treb as strength 5 all around instead of 4. I'm not sure, I might, but if I did so, it was a mistake. But anyway, that's it. Remember that we have this yearly YouTuber award. So if you want, you can go vote. I will keep you reminded every video I have. I'm nominated for Best Casual Wargamer Battle Reporter, so I would be glad if you go vote for me or anyone other in that category or in general. I have the link below. And any other question, just post them below and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. I have more battle reports coming up. And thank you for watching. See you.